Move on to our next guest. Since the coup in Niger Republic, the borders connecting the country to Nigeria has remained shut. This has in return affected trade within Nigerian states that share the border with Niger. The Nigerian Customs Service had said last year that the closure of the country's borders with Niger Republic was not a declaration of war, but was to comply with the directives of the Economic Community of West African States to suspend the movement of cargo until further notice. Last year, members of the House of Representatives called on the federal government to reopen the Meigatari, Meadua, Kongwalam, and Ilela borders. This followed a motion moved by the Deputy Minority Whip, Aliyu Madaki, NNPP Kano. Moving the motion, Mr. Madaki said the closure of borders is causing hardship to the people of Meigatari in Jigawa State, Kongwalam in Katsina State, and Ilela in Sokoto and Kano States. The legislator said the border posts are, in his words, known for their large markets where large-scale international trades take place between Nigerians and people from Niger, Mali, Chad, Cameroon, and other neighboring countries. The lawmaker disclosed that Kano State has been hard hit by the border closure in compliance with the sanction by the ECOWAS. Joining us this morning on the show to discuss the continued border closure with Niger Republic and if it's high time the federal government lifted the ban is Senator Adamu Aliero, senator representing Kebbi Central District in the 10th National Assembly. Good morning, Senator, and welcome to the morning show. All right.
Good morning, and it's a pleasure having me.
Thank you. Now, just giving a background.
Good morning. It's a pleasure having me.
Thank you. It's good to have you too, sir. I've given a background into why the border was closed and the attendant hardship on communities around the border. But I'd like to hear from you, Senator Adamu Aliero, as to what the impact of the border closure and the sanction by ECOWAS. I mean, nothing much has changed in Niger with regards to the coup. It's still led by the military who took over. But what's your take on Nigeria opening up the borders, despite the fact that ECOWAS hasn't yet come to any form of agreement or any kind of a conversation or agreement with Niger Republic?
Let me start by saying that the foreign policy of any state or any country should be a reflection of its domestic policy. Our domestic policy is to take care of the interest and welfare of Nigerians. The closure of border between Nigeria and Nigeria has caused enormous hardship to the people in Nigeria. Not only in Kano, like you mentioned, it affects Kebbi, Sokoto, Zamfara, Katsina, to some extent even Kaduna, Jigawa, Yobe, and Borno State. And legislators from these states have called on federal government to open the border without any delay because it has caused a lot of economic distortions to these states. It has pushed a number of people into serious poverty. It has pushed a number of people into serious unemployment. It has caused very serious friction between Niger and Nigeria. Niger and Nigeria has been very strong allies from time immemorial. And these two countries are inseparable. It is just the colonial demarcation of boundaries that made them separate. After all, before the colonial masters' incursion into Nigeria, Niger and Nigeria are the same people, same religion, same tribe, same culture. There are intermarriages between Niger and Nigeria. So whatever affects Nigeria also affects Niger. And for that reason, we don't see any sense in enforcing this ECOWAS ban on trade between Nigeria and Niger. the closure of border is unwarranted, unnecessary, and is causing a lot of hardship to our people. Right now, if you go to the border, you will see close to about 1,500 truckload of various goods that were prevented coming into Nigeria. Some of these trucks are not coming from Nigeria alone. Some from Mali, some from Benin Republic, some from Burkina Faso, some from even Cameroon. So businessmen have been made to suffer a lot of losses as a result of this closure. And by the way, if you talk of other issues like the Kainji Dam, can I continue? Like the Kainji Dam, there was an understanding between Niger and Nigeria that if we construct Kainji Dam along the river Niger, they should not construct similar dam in the Niger Republic. This will allow uninterrupted flow of water into the dam that will turn the turbines and generate electricity. And in return, Nigeria will give electricity to Niger.
Okay.
Unfortunately, immediately after the ECOWAS, ban, Nigeria cut off electricity to Niger. This is against international agreement.
Okay.
This is against mutual relationship between Niger and Nigeria.
Right.
And this is causing a lot of hardship to the people in Niger.
Right.
And it is the ordinary people in Niger that are suffering. The junta have generators that can generate electricity and power their houses without any problem whatsoever. So we feel that it is wrong to close border between Nigeria and Niger. We feel it is wrong to cut off electricity to Niger because it is against the international agreement. And we call on the president, time without number, to open the border between Niger and Nigeria. After all, Nigeria is not the only country that is in ECOWAS. Other neighbors, other neighboring countries that are also members of ECOWAS are not observing this agreement.
Okay, thank you for that,
Burkina Faso,
now, to
they are
just
having
take
trade
our
relationship with
conversation to a different dimension. Now, of course, research shows that removing sanctions does not restore constitutional order that's actually required for economies to be functional and benefit citizens. So, of course, we know that the coup is the primary cause of this, the ECOWAS sanctions and the ban and the close of borders. However, other developments are escalating tensions in the region. For example, the creation of the Alliance of Sahel States between Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, which is in essence a military alliance that is ready to go against any escalation from ECOWAS. My question to you is, if we're looking at the domestic interests of Nigeria, how do we promote economic activities by opening borders when there are imminent military threats, especially given the development of the creation of the Alliance of Sahel States?
Let me tell you that what prevents military, okay. Let me come in. What prevents military from taking over any democratic government is good governance. Once there is good governance, it is an anecdote against the takeover of, civilian government. Time without number, we have been hearing that military takeover is caused because of pervasive corruption, misgovernance, unnecessary division within the various ethnic groups living in the country. Once the government is able to take care of this, there is no need for military takeover. And let me tell you, the people in Niger are very happy with the present government, much more than the so-called civilian government that was hosted by the military junta. And come to think of it, the Sahel movement you're talking about is caused because they want to free themselves from the total control of France. It is a common knowledge that most of the Francophone countries still owe their allegiance to Niger Republic.
Okay.
Sorry, to to French government.
Okay, sir. Okay.
To the government in France.
Okay.
The government in France.
I wanted to ask a question because of time. So I wanted to ask a question. I understand the explanation you've made, as regards the dynamics, geopolitical dynamics. But I want to ask, you want them to...
But I wanted to learn by saying that the Sahel division, the Francophone country decide to form a sort of alliance between themselves in order to free themselves from neo-colonialism. They want to free themselves totally from French control.
Okay, good. So I would like to ask, you want them to open this border again?
Yeah.
So that there's trade, so that there's interaction, businesses have been stifled, lives have been stifled and everything. Has Nigeria reached a conclusion with the military junta in Niger as regards our request? Where are we as regards that? Or has Nigeria now accepted military junta? Do you know anything about that conversation as we speak today?
No, Nigeria has not accepted the military junta in Niger. But what I'm saying is that we are more concerned with the people of Niger than the military junta. Even though it is difficult to separate the military junta with the people of Niger. After all, it is their government. And the people in Niger are very happy with the junta. As I said earlier, they are more happy with the junta than the civilian government that has been replaced.
Okay.
There are certain things the government has started doing that the former government is not doing. They have taken action
so that
to
means,
economically free themselves from the control of France.
So that means if you are saying the people are happy with the military, that means probably you're in support of a coup that happened in Niger. Is that the case? But we need to go this morning. Thank you so much for your time. We'll hear your point. Thank you so much, sir.